Let me ask you something. From one human being to another. From a doctor who's spent over 3 decades treating thousands of seniors across the country. Have you ever woken up and felt like something's just sitting heavy in your belly? Not pain, not sickness. Just that uncomfortable fullness, a slow drag in your gut. Maybe your waistband feels tighter even though you haven't been eating more. Maybe your walk feels slower, heavier, as if your body is holding something it no longer wants to carry. You're not imagining it. This is a real physical sensation that many people over the age of 60 experience. And yet, very few doctors explain why it happens or how you can gently reverse it. Let's talk about that. The slowing down of the digestive fire. As we age, the inner systems of our bodies begin to slow down. And not because we've done something wrong. In fact, it's often the result of decades of hard work. From your digestive enzymes to your gut microbiome, everything operates just a little more slowly than it used to. Your stomach doesn't produce acid with the same intensity. Your intestines lose some of their elasticity and muscular strength. Even your liver, the ultimate detoxifier, doesn't clear out toxins with the same youthful vigor. This doesn't just lead to bloating or indigestion. It leads to something more profound, a sense of internal stagnation. And when the digestion is stagnant, everything is affected. Your energy dips. Your mood is off. Your cravings go haywire. Your belly becomes resistant to shrinking, even if you're eating clean. In traditional Chinese medicine, they call this the dampness in the stomach. In Western medicine, we might simply call it digestive insufficiency. But the result is the same. Your gut isn't breaking down food the way it used to, and it's quietly hurting your health and your self-esteem. Meet Helen, a familiar story. One of my favorite patients, Helen, was 69 when she first came to me, a retired librarian, proud grandmother of 4, and a woman who had never really struggled with weight, until recently. She said something to me in that first appointment I'll never forget. "Doctor," she said, "I eat less than ever. I don't even touch sweets anymore. And still, I wake up every morning feeling like someone slipped a rock into my belly overnight." She wasn't exaggerating. Her tests showed no tumors, no ulcers, no infections. And yet, her symptoms were real. Her belly was distended. Her digestion was sluggish. And her spirits? Lower than she would admit. This is not uncommon. Many seniors are told by doctors, "It's just aging." But I believe that's a lazy answer. Because what I've learned after 30 years of clinical experience is this: aging doesn't mean resignation. It means adjustment. And for Helen, that adjustment started with a small but powerful change. 1 healing glass each morning. But I'll get to that later. First, let's break down the science behind this heavy belly phenomenon, so you can finally understand what's really going on inside you. Why the belly becomes a burden. After 60. Let's look at 5 key reasons why the belly feels heavier and refuses to flatten with age. 1. Lower stomach acid. After age 60, the body produces significantly less hydrochloric acid, HCl, the crucial acid responsible for breaking down proteins and killing harmful bacteria in the stomach. Without enough stomach acid, food sits longer in the gut. Fermentation begins. Gas builds up. Nutrients aren't fully absorbed. This leads to bloating, indigestion, and even malnutrition, all while making the belly swell. 2. Sluggish liver function. Your liver filters your blood, breaks down fats, and detoxifies waste. With age, this powerhouse slows down, especially if it's overloaded from years of medications, processed food, or alcohol. A sluggish liver can lead to fat accumulation in the abdomen, visceral fat, hormonal imbalances, fatigue and poor metabolism. 3. Loss of muscle mass. Every decade after 30, we lose up to 5% of muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. Less muscle means lower metabolic rate, less calorie burn at rest, higher fat accumulation around the belly. 4. Hormonal shifts. For women, postmenopause means a drop in estrogen. For men, testosterone decreases. Both changes affect where fat is stored, and unfortunately, it often settles around the middle. 5. Chronic low-grade inflammation. A silent killer, inflammation builds up from years of poor diet, stress, and environmental toxins. It triggers insulin resistance, gut dysbiosis, and fat storage, particularly in the belly. The emotional weight of a physical belly. Let me pause the biology for a moment, because I want to say something that's not found in textbooks. When your belly feels uncomfortable, your spirit suffers too. I've seen it over and over. Proud, intelligent, beautiful men and women who slowly stop attending social events, avoid mirrors, and shrink into themselves, all because they feel ashamed of a belly that refuses to budge. But let me be clear, shame has no place in healing. This is not your fault. This is biology. And the best news is, biology can be supported, repaired, and revitalized, naturally. Why quick fixes don't work, and may even harm you. The internet is full of advice for belly fat, pills, powders, detox kits, and absurd diets that cut out half the foods you enjoy. Here's what I tell all my patients. If it doesn't nourish, it doesn't heal. Fat-burning teas? Often full of laxatives that dehydrate you. Extreme fasts? Stress the liver and throw hormones into chaos. Flat belly pills? Usually unregulated and can interfere with medications. What works, truly works, is gentle, consistent, daily nourishment. And that brings us to the next chapter of this journey, the morning healing drink. A glass filled not with magic, but with science-backed, time-tested, body-loving ingredients. The morning reset ritual. Why timing matters. Before we get into the ingredients, let me explain why the morning is the perfect time for this ritual. When you wake up, your digestive system is in a fasting state. Your stomach is empty and most receptive. Your metabolism is ready to be activated. Your cortisol, stress hormone, is naturally higher and needs regulation. By giving your body this healing drink first thing in the morning, you send a powerful message. I'm taking care of you today. And the body, amazingly, responds in kind. This is what we'll explore in the next section, where I'll walk you through each of the 5 ingredients, one by one, with the science, stories, and safety tips you need to begin your own transformation. Let's return to the idea of starting your day with one simple glass. Now, this is not just a detox trend or a magical internet recipe. This is a carefully curated combination of 5 healing ingredients, each one selected for how it supports the aging digestive system, balances hormones, and restores metabolic health, especially in seniors. Over the years, I've personally recommended this blend to hundreds of my patients, and while no single food is a cure-all, I've seen these ingredients work together like a small morning orchestra. Each note simple, but when combined, they create harmony. Let's walk through them one by one. 1. Warm water, the unsung hero of digestion. Start with warmth, not harshness. That's what I tell my patients. Too many people wake up and reach immediately for coffee. While coffee may stimulate the bowels, it can also irritate the stomach lining, especially when empty. Instead, warm water acts like a soft alarm clock for your gut. It doesn't jolt, It invites. What it does: relaxes the stomach and intestinal muscles, stimulates digestive enzyme secretion gently, improves circulation, which supports all organs, including the liver and kidneys, hydrates your body after 6 to 8 hours of water loss during sleep. Scientific insight. Warm water, around 38–42 degrees, has been shown in gastroenterology studies to promote peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions that move food through the intestines. In seniors, these waves often weaken with age, contributing to constipation and bloating. Warm water brings back the rhythm. Patient story. Mary's morning turnaround. Mary, 67, used to wake up feeling tight and stiff, especially around her midsection. She was taking fiber supplements with little success. When I asked her to do one thing, drink a glass of warm water before anything else each morning, she laughed at first. "That's it?" she said. 10 days later, she returned and said, "I didn't change anything else, but I wake up feeling lighter. My belly isn't fighting me anymore." 2. Raw apple cider vinegar, the metabolic whisperer. This cloudy liquid has been used for centuries, but its modern comeback is thanks to research supporting its acetic acid content, which has measurable effects on insulin, blood sugar, fat metabolism, and digestion. But let's be clear, this isn't about guzzling vinegar straight. That's harmful. It must always be diluted. What it does: slows digestion of carbohydrates, preventing blood sugar spikes, improves insulin sensitivity, reducing fat storage, reduces appetite naturally, supports stomach acid production for better breakdown of food. Research-based evidence. In a 2009 study published in the journal Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry, participants who consumed vinegar daily for 12 weeks showed reduced visceral fat, belly fat, lower body weight, lower triglyceride levels. These results were most significant in those over 60 with insulin resistance, a common issue in seniors. Patient story. Harold's quiet transformation. Harold, 72, was skeptical of vinegar. "It smells like pickles," he joked. But his blood sugar was unstable, and his belly wouldn't shrink despite eating little. After mixing 1 tablespoon of raw ACV into his warm water, he started to see changes in less than 2 weeks. "I didn't feel like I was starving anymore. And my belt, it went down a notch. First time in 5 years. 3. Lemon juice. The citrus cleanser. Most people know lemon for its vitamin C, but it's also a potent support agent for your liver, the main organ responsible for fat processing and detoxification. Lemon wakes up the entire gastrointestinal system with its bright acidity. But interestingly, it becomes alkalizing once inside the body, helping to reduce chronic inflammation. What it does: stimulates bile production in the liver, helping break down fats, reduces systemic inflammation that contributes to metabolic slowdown, supports kidney function and waste elimination, balances internal pH, supporting healthy gut flora. Medical explanation. The liver is responsible for over 500 functions, many of which decline after age 60. Lemon juice helps this vital organ perform at a higher capacity by providing flavonoids and citric acid, which encourage the flushing of toxins and improve enzyme activity. Patient story. Doris gets her energy back. Doris, 65, told me she always woke up sluggish, mentally and physically. I asked her to squeeze half a lemon into her warm drink for 10 days. When she returned, she said, "I don't know if it's the lemon, the ritual, or both, but I've stopped dragging myself around in the mornings." This is typical. When the liver works better, everything feels easier. 4. Fresh ginger, the internal engine starter. This humble root has been revered in Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, and for good reason. It is one of the best natural anti-bloat, anti-nausea, and pro-digestion agents I know of. What it does: speeds up gastric emptying, so food doesn't sit and ferment, reduces gas and bloating, boosts circulation, warming the body from within, reduces inflammation, particularly in the gut lining and joints. What science says? Ginger contains gingerols and shogaols, compounds shown to relieve nausea and promote motility. A study in the Journal of Neurogastroenterology and Motility found that ginger accelerates emptying of the stomach by up to 50%, especially in older adults. Patient story. Bernice and the dinner party comeback. Bernice, age 70, said something that stuck with me. I used to avoid family dinners. I never knew if I'd be gassy, bloated, or in pain. I suggested she grate fresh ginger into her warm water-lemon vinegar mix. Within a week, her gut felt quiet again. I wore my favorite black dress to Sunday dinner, and I wasn't worried about my belly once. 5. Cinnamon, the sweet regulator. Most people think of cinnamon as a holiday spice or sweet topping, but in clinical nutrition, cinnamon is studied for its powerful impact on blood sugar, inflammation, and fat storage. The key compound here is cinnamaldehyde, which improves insulin sensitivity and has antimicrobial benefits. What it does: reduces blood glucose levels after meals, improves insulin sensitivity, particularly in seniors, fights sugar cravings, lowers LDL cholesterol and triglycerides. Clinical insight. A meta-analysis of 10 randomized controlled trials showed cinnamon significantly reduced fasting blood sugar and improved HbA1c levels in type 2 diabetics. For seniors, this helps prevent the dreaded belly fat trap, where insulin resistance leads to fat accumulation around the waist. Patient story. Thomas breaks the 9 p.m. Snack habit. Thomas, 74, had a nightly ritual: cookies at 9 p.m. "I'm not even hungry," he said. "It's just a habit." After adding a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon to his morning drink, the cravings subsided. I didn't even notice it until one night I skipped the cookies and didn't miss them. That never happens. Why they work better together. Each of these ingredients has independent benefits, but when combined, they synergize, supporting multiple systems at once. Warm water hydrates and relaxes. Lemon awakens the liver. Vinegar balances sugar and ignites fat burning. Ginger settles the stomach and stimulates metabolism. Cinnamon controls sugar and cravings. It's not a detox. It's not magic. It's alignment, a way of returning your body to what it already knows how to do. In my experience, this gentle combination is one of the few home remedies I fully stand behind. Not because it's a trend, but because I've seen the results with my own eyes. I've always believed that science convinces the mind, but stories? Stories change the heart. And when it comes to healing, especially in the later seasons of life, the heart matters just as much as the body. That's why I want to share the journeys of 5 individuals, all over the age of 60, who agreed to try the morning healing glass for just 10 days. Each of them came to me with the same question: is it really that simple? And in every case, the answer turned out to be yes, simple, but not small. Because what may look like a tiny habit from the outside can become a turning point on the inside. Let's meet them. 1. Helen, age 69. I stopped avoiding my reflection. Helen was a former librarian, organized, responsible, dignified. She came into my office not because she was chasing weight loss, but because she was tired of feeling uncomfortable in her own skin. I used to wear blouses that hung loose just to hide my belly. It wasn't fat, exactly, just this puffiness, a balloon that wouldn't deflate. We started her with the basic recipe: warm water, lemon, ACV, ginger, cinnamon, every morning on an empty stomach. By day 4, she said she already noticed less tension in her stomach after breakfast. By day 8, her clothes fit more naturally. She was standing straighter. By day 10, she told me something I won't forget. For the first time in years, I looked in the mirror and didn't wince. I saw myself, not the bloating. 2. Roger, age 75. I thought my cravings were just part of getting old. Roger was one of those no-nonsense types. A retired contractor who built houses for 40 years, he wasn't looking for a feel-good fix. He came to me because he was frustrated. "Doc, I eat dinner. I'm full. But then at 9 o'clock, I'm tearing through the fridge like I haven't eaten in a week." He wasn't overweight by much, but the belly was growing. The energy was dipping. And the cravings? Constant. He agreed to try the 10-day morning drink challenge. I told him to just trust the process. No snacking at night, just the drink in the morning. By day 5, his evening cravings had dropped by half. By day 10, they were gone. I still open the fridge at 9 p.m. out of habit. But I just stand there now, and I laugh. I don't want anything. The cinnamon and vinegar were doing their job, stabilizing blood sugar, calming insulin spikes, and returning his hunger cues to normal. 3. Linda, age 66. The bloat was ruining my social life. Linda had always been the life of the party, until her digestion started acting up in her 60s. She became hesitant to go to potlucks, dinners, even brunches. I never knew when my stomach would turn against me. Sometimes it was gas, sometimes cramps. I felt like my belly had a mind of its own. She didn't want medications. She wanted relief. Naturally, we began the 10-day glass ritual. She prepared it the night before and let the ginger steep longer for added strength. After 1 week, her bloating, once an everyday ordeal, dropped dramatically. My pants finally zipped without me holding my breath, and I didn't feel nervous going out for dinner. But more than that, she told me. It gave me my confidence back. I wasn't afraid of food anymore. 4. Calvin, age 70. It wasn't just my belly that got lighter. Calvin was an artist. He painted in the mornings, read in the evenings, and had long accepted that his belly would never be flat again. I wasn't trying to look 30 again. I just wanted to feel clearer inside. Something was off. He described his gut as sluggish, heavy, not painful, just stuck. We gave him the drink, plus a gentle walking routine to pair with it. Nothing strenuous, just motion and morning medicine. By day 3, he had more energy. By day 7, he was sleeping better. By day 10, he told me, "My belly is flatter, sure, but honestly, my mind is clearer. I feel like the fog lifted." This surprised him, but not me. When digestion improves, the gut-brain axis lights up. Mood stabilizes. Mental energy returns. Digestion and cognition are more connected than most people realize. 5. Edith, age 73. I needed something that didn't feel like a punishment. Edith had tried diets before. They made her feel deprived, isolated, guilty when she couldn't stick to them. When I told her about the morning healing drink, she hesitated. But do I have to give up everything else? Bread? Coffee? Cheese? No, I told her. This isn't about what you lose. It's about what you add. She liked that. 10 days later, she called me. Not for an appointment, just to share. For once, I didn't feel like I was fighting my body. I was helping it. She didn't lose 20 pounds. She didn't suddenly drop 2 dress sizes, but her posture changed. Her face looked less puffy. She moved with more grace. This isn't just about a flat belly, she said. It's about feeling good in my own skin again. What? These stories reveal. When you hear these stories, it's easy to think, that's nice, But maybe they were lucky. But I've heard hundreds of variations of the same story. 10 days, 5 ingredients, 1 glass, and a subtle but powerful transformation begins. It's not magic. It's not a miracle. It's physiology, consistency, and self-respect. Why 10 days matters. Why do we start with 10 days? Because it's long enough to reset taste buds, calm the nervous system, restore hydration patterns, reduce inflammation in the gut. But it's short enough that it doesn't feel overwhelming. Most people can commit to 10 days, and that commitment, that small yes, creates momentum, and momentum creates hope. Signs of progress. Besides the scale, here's what my patients often notice first. Less morning bloat, reduced sugar cravings, more frequent and easier. Bowel movements, pants fitting better, calmer moods. Better sleep. Fewer cravings between meals. More confidence standing in front of a mirror. These are real markers of progress, more meaningful than a number on the scale. Healing is about more than weight. Each of these seniors started with the hope of a flatter belly, but what they gained went far beyond appearance. A sense of trust in their body again, the joy of simple rituals, the emotional lift of feeling lighter, both physically and spiritually. That's the essence of this practice. Let's talk about the how. You've heard the why. You've seen the science. You've felt the inspiration through stories. Now it's time to get practical. Because the truth is, even the best health solution in the world won't help you if it's too hard to follow. But this drink takes just 3 minutes a day. It requires no fancy tools, just a cup, a spoon, and your commitment to care for yourself. Your daily ritual. The core recipe. Ingredients: 1 to 1.5 cups of warm water, not boiling. 2 tablespoons fresh lemon juice. 1 tablespoon raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. 1 teaspoon freshly grated ginger, or 2 to 3 thin slices. 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon. Instructions. Warm the water, not hot. You want it warm enough to soothe your throat, but not hot enough to destroy enzymes or burn your mouth. Think tea temperature. Add the lemon juice. Squeeze fresh. Avoid bottled versions that contain preservatives. Add apple cider vinegar. Stir gently. The vinegar may look cloudy. That's good. That cloud is rich in beneficial enzymes and probiotics. Grate or slice your ginger. Grated gives stronger flavor and faster release. Sliced allows steeping if you like to let it sit before drinking. Sprinkle cinnamon. Stir in last. It may float. That's okay. Sip slowly and stir as needed. When to drink it. Best time. First thing in the morning, on an empty stomach. Optional. Split the glass in half. Drink half in the morning, half mid-afternoon to curb cravings. Avoid drinking it right before bed. Some people may experience mild alertness due to ginger and improved circulation. Taste tips. Make it enjoyable for some. The initial taste can be strong. You're not alone, especially if you're not used to vinegar or ginger. Here are a few gentle tips to ease the transition. Add a teaspoon of raw honey, only if not diabetic. It smooths the sharpness. Use less vinegar for the first 3 to 5 days, then gradually increase. Infuse with cinnamon sticks instead of powder if you dislike grainy texture. Try chilling it for a few minutes if warm drinks are hard to handle. Reminder: this is not meant to be a sweet beverage. It's a therapeutic tonic. But you don't need to dread it. Safety and precautions for seniors. While this is a natural and generally safe tonic, we must remember, every body is unique, and every medication deserves respect. 1. Acid reflux. Gourd lemon and vinegar are acidic. If you have active reflux, ulcers, or gastritis, Use with caution. Start with just lemon and warm water. Leave vinegar out initially. Slowly introduce other ingredients if tolerated. 2. Medications affected by acidity drugs, like lisinopril, metformin, levothyroxine, or NSAIDs, may interact with acidic environments. Always drink this at least 30 minutes away from medication. If on blood thinners, monitor cinnamon intake. Natural blood thinning effect. 3. Tooth enamel lemon and vinegar are acidic. Use a straw if possible. Rinse mouth with water after drinking. Avoid brushing teeth immediately after. Wait 20-30 minutes. 4. Diabetes. Blood sugar concerns. This drink stabilizes insulin, but it's still important to monitor blood sugar levels. Avoid adding honey or sugar. Keep your doctor in the loop if your meds need adjustment. 10-day cycle and how to pause. This drink is not meant to be consumed forever without breaks. Here's the ideal healing cycle I recommend. Drink every morning for 10 days. Journal your symptoms, energy levels, cravings, digestion. Pause for 3 to 5 days. Let your body reset. Notice what changes when you stop. Optional round 2. Do another 10-day cycle if needed. How to integrate into daily life. Most people fail not because the routine is hard, but because they forget. Here's how to make it stick. Make it a ritual. Place ingredients where you see them every morning. Keep pre-grated ginger in the fridge. Put a reminder note on your kettle or coffee maker. Track results. Use a small journal or note app to track bloating, cravings, bathroom regularity, energy levels, weight or clothing fit, if desired. Seeing progress helps you stay motivated. Involve a friend. Invite a friend or family member to do the 10-day challenge with you. Accountability breeds consistency. Emotional bonus. Turn this into a self-care moment. Too often, wellness routines feel like chores, but this small habit can become a sacred pause in your day. A moment of quiet healing. Light a candle while you sip. Say an affirmation like, "I nourish my body with love. Each day, I feel lighter and stronger." This shifts your mindset from punishment to presence. Common questions from my patients. Q. Can I prepare it the night before? Yes, but the lemon juice and ginger are best when fresh. If you must prep early, skip the ginger until morning. Q. Can I add turmeric? Absolutely. Turmeric adds anti-inflammatory power. Add just a pinch, with black pepper for absorption. Q. What if I forget one day? No problem. Just resume the next day. Consistency matters more than perfection. Q. Can I still drink coffee? Yes. Just wait at least 30 to 45 minutes after the morning drink before having coffee. One patient's routine. A sample morning 6:30 a.m. Wake up, stretch 6:45 a.m. Warm lemon ginger vinegar drink. 7 a.m. Light walk or light chores. 7:30 a.m. Breakfast with protein and fiber. 8 a.m. Medication if needed. 9 a.m. Feel more energized, less cravings. Small shifts. Big results. So, what really happens after 10 days? Not in a commercial, not in a clinic brochure, but in real life, in real bodies, in real hearts. If you followed the simple ritual every morning, warm water, lemon, apple cider vinegar, ginger, and cinnamon, something inside you has likely begun to shift. And I'm not just talking about belly bloat. The physical results. You might notice. Most of my patients report some variation of the following. 1. Less bloating and gas. For many, this is the first and most dramatic change. Meals feel lighter. Pants fit better. You're not battling tightness every time you stand up. 2. Improved digestion. Regular bowel movements. Less straining. No more relying on laxatives or teas to get things moving. Your system is finally cooperating. 3. Reduced cravings. Especially for sugar and salty snacks. You may find yourself walking past the cookie jar without even thinking about it. 4. More stable energy. Instead of morning fog or afternoon crashes, there's a quiet steadiness. You're more alert, but without the jitters. 5. Flatter belly. Yes, really. Not a miracle weight loss, but a meaningful difference. The kind you feel in your clothes, in your posture, in your confidence. But here's the bigger surprise. What changes most might not be your belly. It might be the relationship you have with your body. After 10 days, many people feel more connected, more in tune with hunger and fullness, more grateful for small, quiet victories, more in control, not of their weight, but of their wellness. Because once your body starts to feel better, your mind starts to believe again. And that belief? That's where real change begins. The science behind the shift. Let's briefly touch on what's happening beneath the surface. This drink works because it supports gut health, promotes good bacteria, reduces fermentation that causes gas, enhances nutrient absorption, metabolic balance, stabilizes blood sugar, improves insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, liver and kidney function, aids detoxification, stimulates bile production for fat breakdown, flushes mild toxins through hydration and citrus enzymes. These are not small effects. They're foundational. And when your foundation is strong, your house, your whole life, feels sturdier. Reflections from patients. 10 days later. Here's what some of my patients shared after completing the full cycle. It's not just the belly. It's that I want to care for myself again. Linda, 66. I used to feel like my body was betraying me. Now I feel like we're on the same team. Thomas, 74. I didn't need to punish myself to feel better. I just needed a little consistency. Doris, 65. This was the first habit in years I've actually stuck with, and I'm proud of that. Ryder, 75. These aren't weight loss success stories. They're wholeness success stories. What to do after 10 days. Your next steps. So what now? The worst thing you could do is treat this like a one-time fix. The best thing you could do is turn it into a seasonal ritual or a daily act of devotion. Here are a few options. Option 1. Take a 3 to 5 day break. Then repeat. Let your body rest. Then begin again, gently. Many patients do a 10-day cycle every month, especially at the beginning of each season. Option 2. Keep some ingredients. Year-round. Maybe you love lemon and ginger, but found vinegar too strong. Great. Keep what works. Adapt as needed. Healing isn't about following rules. It's about listening. Option 3. Build on your momentum. Use this ritual as a launch pad. Start walking 10 minutes each morning. Add protein and fiber to your breakfast. Reduce processed foods 1 meal at a time. Tiny steps create lasting shifts. A new morning, a new perspective. One of the most profound lessons I've learned over 30 years of practice is this. Healing doesn't start with medicine. It starts with intention. Every morning, you chose to make this drink. You were choosing to say, I matter. My body deserves kindness. My health is worth the effort. My age is not my limitation. And let me tell you something. That intention is more powerful than any pill I've ever prescribed. My final message to you, if you've read this far, I want to leave you with something personal. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to begin. And then begin again. And again. And again. You're not too old. You're not too far gone. You're not broken. You're rebuilding. One glass at a time. One day at a time. one breath at a time. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, before the coffee, before the chaos, before the doubts, make your glass. Let it be a declaration of hope, not just for your belly, but for your life.